So in 9.5, we're going to put exponents into expressions. So 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. Negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. Negative 5 cubed is negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. 3 negatives make a negative, and this is negative 125, because 25 times 5 is 125, but this is negative 125. 0.6 squared, 0.6 times 0.6, we get 0.36 or 36 hundredths. 7/8 squared is 7/8 times 7/8, which is 49 64ths. Negative 9/10 squared is negative 9/10 times negative 9/10. Two negatives are going to make a positive. We get 81 hundredths. So what would come first here? First would be the green one. So it turns out that exponents are done before all your multiplying or dividing, right? Then you would do your multiplying and dividing, the red one second, adding and subtracting still last. So there, right, we've now added step 2 finally to the 4 steps of order of operations. You can guess what the next lesson is going to be. But today, you're going to start with exponents. So you do the 8 squared first, then you do 5 times 64. 64 times 5, 4 times 5 is 20, 5 times 6 is 30, and this is 320. We're going to do our exponents first. So 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So it's 20 divided by 4 plus 8. Now we have to go over here and do this division first, because we got our exponents done, but now we're going to have to do our dividing and multiplying. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 plus 8, 13. Here, there's an exponent, so let's do that. 3 times 25 plus 50 divided by 2. Notice I take the time to rewrite everything after each step. So I just finished step 2, exponents, and now I'm going to do my multiplying and dividing. 3 times 25 is 75. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Add those together in last step, and you get 100. All right, so we have negative 10 squared, which is negative 10 times negative 10, positive 100. We have negative 3 squared, which is negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. So we have 100 divided by 25 plus 9. Now we have to do our division first. 100 divided by 25 is 4, 4 quarters and a dollar. 4 plus 9 is 13. Here we have 6 squared is 36. We have negative 2 squared, which is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which is negative 8. 3 negatives make it. So we have now. That's negative 8. We still have this minus, so I'm going to put parentheses there, and we still have this times 4. And so what do we have to do next? We have to multiply negative 8 times 4, which is negative 32, and it's 36. This minus hasn't gone away. Minus negative 32. Yeah, when you have this situation, I often see mistakes, because people forget one of them and they think it's a different problem. Because this is going to change into 36 plus 32. Add the opposite, which is what? 68 is the correct answer, and the only correct answer. Right, so that is negative. You would say that as negative 3y squared. Okay, so now let's see what we do. What does that mean? It's negative 3 times, right? Whenever you don't see an operation, it's always multiplication. So negative 3 times 5 squared, because y is 5. So how do you do it? You do your exponents first, 5 squared. And so then it's negative 3 times, I like working down, not cross, even though there's more room that way. So this is negative 3 times 25. And negative 3 times 25, 3 quarters makes 75 cents. One negative in this problem, it is negative 75. So now I tend to use x and y, but you can use any letter. You actually can use symbols as well. So this is 2q squared. Q is 10. So 2 times 10 squared minus, and this is minus negative 4, right? P is negative 4, so we have to do minus negative 4. We're going to do our exponent first. We get 2 times 100 minus. Now you can change that to add your opposite right now, but I'm going to wait. So that's 2 times, now we have to multiply 2 times 100 minus negative 4, same as plus 4. Add the opposite. The answer to that is 204. All right, with decimals, we do our 0.6 squared. We've done that one a bunch in class, I feel like. 0.6 times 0.6 is 0.36. So we have 2.86 minus 0.36. I think I could subtract that in my head, but let's just write it out. Right, you get a 0, you get a 5, you get a 2. And we're not going to put this extra 0 here. It's 2.5, 2.5, 2 5/10. Exponent, 0.7 squared. 7 times 7 is 49. Move the decimal twice. 0.49 plus 0.01 minus 0.2. All right, so we have a tie, right? So we're going to do 0.49, 49 hundredths, plus 1/100th, which is 5. Now that's 50 hundredths, but also known as 0.5. So this is 0.5 minus 0.2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Line up your decimal points. I think we can do that in our head. It is 3/10. Fractions. So 1/2 cubed. What's 1/2 cubed? It's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So this ends up being 7/8 plus 1/8, which is 8/8, which is 1. 2/5 squared is 2/5 times 2/5, which is 4/25. All right, so we have 2/5 times 1/2 plus 4/25. Now we have to do our multiplying first. So 2/5 times 1/2, there's canceling. So this is 1/5. Now we have 1/5 plus 4/25. Now we need common denominator. So we're going to make this 5/25 plus 4/25 equals 9/25. 0.5 squared. All right, now I didn't say how to put the answer. So you have options. You could do it with fractions or decimals. I'm going to do it with decimals first. We'll see that. So 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. 0.5 squared is 0.25. 1/4 is 25 hundredths. Also 0.25. This is 0. Let's do it with fractions just to show that. So, right, this is 1/2, 5/10. Now, you should have memorized that that's 1/2. 0.5, 5/10 simplifies to 1/2. 1/2 squared minus 1/4. 1/2 times 1/2, 1/4. Either way, you should get 0. All right, 1/2 squared, we just said, was 1/4. So we have 3.1 minus 1/4 times 2/5. Okay, so we have to multiply, so we might as well just multiply this. There's canceling there. And you get 1/10. So you have 3.1 minus 1/10. Well, 1/10 is 0.1. 3 1/10 minus 1/10 is 3. You also could have written this as 3 1/10 minus 1/10, still 3, whichever way you do it. So let's practice. So you do your exponent first. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. I put that one in the lesson a lot because people give me the wrong answer for that, believe it or not, a lot. All right, so we have a tie. We're going to do 48 divided by 8 first because it's on the left. We're breaking our tie. That's 6. 6 times 7, 42. 7 squared is 49. 8 to the first is 8. So I'm going to rewrite. I got 100 minus 2 times 49 plus 8. You got to do the 2 times 49 first. Well, 2 times 50 is 100. So 2 times 49 makes 98, makes sense there. Then we have a tie. You got to do the one on the left first. 100 minus 98 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. X is 8 for both these problems, so it's 2 times 8 squared minus 1. 8 squared is 64. So we have 2 times 64 minus 1. We have to multiply first. And I'm getting 128 minus 1, 127. Here we have 60 plus 10 times 8 squared minus 8 over 8. 8 squared is 64. 10 times 64 is 640. All right, so after I do all that, I get 60 plus 640 And that 8 divided by 8, you can do that. At the same time, you do 10 times this, so that is 1. Okay? All right, let me be a little neater, like that. Okay, so now we're at 60 plus 640 minus 1. You have to do the one on the left first. 640 plus 60 is designed so you could do it in your head, but if you don't, it's still 700. What is 1 less than 700? Hopefully in your head you realize it's 699. But let me show you the borrowing of that, because that always messes people up, right? You borrow from 7, it becomes 6. This becomes a 10, cross it out. This becomes a 9, that becomes a 10. There's your 9, there's your 9, there's your 6. 699, 1 less than 700. All right, final question. So we have choice of fractions and decimals. I'm pretty sure the fraction method is going to be easier, but let's start with 0.5 times 0.5. So 5 times 5 is 25. Move the decimal point, so you get negative 7/8 plus 0.25. Now, right, I've memorized that 0.25 is 25 hundredths, right, is 25 hundredths, which simplifies to 1/4. So that means this is negative 7/8 plus 1/4, which you can make negative 7/8 plus 2/8, which is negative 5/8, and that's a simplified fraction. You're done. I think it would be harder to do the decimals because the 7/8, right? The 7/8, eighths make thousandths. So you got to remember that it's 125, and so 125 times 7, 14, 17, it's 875,000.875. So it would be negative 0.875 plus 0.25. Then you would have to subtract 0.875. You would line up your decimal points, right? So I'm going to put a 0 there. 5, 2, and 0.8 minus 2 is 6. Yeah, you get negative 0.625. Is negative 6.25 the same thing as negative 5/8? It sure is. You could do it a bunch of ways, but I'll do it the easiest way, right? 5/8, you multiply by 125 to make it over 1,000. And is 5 times 125, 625 it is. All right, good luck on your homework.